like Philadelphia, again, where the schools are given federally paid for laptops. They're watching the kids at home, and the schools are the one that told the public they were watching kids in their bedroom. In fact, let's pull that photo up. And my point is, tying this in, is that in one state you go to prison for this, and the Attorney General in California says this is illegal, and they just say we don't care. I mean, this is a new level of brazen corruption.
Well, without a doubt, that's what it is. And here's the real kicker. When it became public that those payments were illegal after the Judicial Watch organization won their lawsuit challenging the payments, and the appellate court found them illegal, the Judicial Council went to the Darrell Steinberg, the leader of the state legislature, and put through very quietly during the height of the budget crisis last year a provision, a bill, Senate Bill SBX 211, that gave the judges and the government officials involved in the illegal payment scheme retroactive criminal and civil immunity from prosecution. And to this day, no mainstream media in this state has reported that.
Well, you know why? Because I'm guarantee it's going on in every major city and many small towns, and they know this can bring their whole corrupt system down. So, well, why doesn't Pennsylvania just pass a law saying judges can be given $2.6 million under the table? I mean, this is incredible. And as you said, there's almost a complete mainstream media blackout on this.
That's true. But you know what, Alex? Not to despair. There is hope, because judges are elected officials, and they have to stand for confirmation once they're appointed. They have to stand for confirmation every 6 years, and they can be voted out. And it's time that the people wake up and realize that the arrogance that's demonstrated here, that they have the power to control the legislature, the governor, they have the power. Well, look what happened with us. We tried for a year to get into the jail to interview Mr. Fine, to see how he was doing his health, because he is 70 years old, and the sheriff repeatedly denied us. But they let the LA Times come in and interview him. Of course, the LA Times report was very, very scant in details, but we had to file a lawsuit to get access to him, to speak with him, and for you to see him on your website and hear his words. The Judicial Watch organization filed a lawsuit on our behalf, and 30 days later, the sheriff caved in. And I have to tell you, we really feel very grateful that we got that opportunity. Were it not for that, I really worry what would be happening to Mr. Fine right now, and how many others there are in jail similar to what's happening to him.
Well, let me be clear. Judicial Watch, you judge a tree by its fruits, and they just continue to do a great job on so many fronts. It was Judicial Watch 3 years ago that sued and got the FOIA documents that the government wouldn't release on the North American Union SPP meeting that I put in my film Endgame. So folks really need to support Judicial Watch. I just continue over the years to see them do such important work. But, I mean, that's a whole other issue. Not only is this corruption now just out in the open and being left alone, and there's a media blockade on it, but he's been in jail for more than a year on contempt. Potentially, I guess, if this precedent is set judicially, then you can have local judges putting people behind bars for their entire life without ever even having a trial.
But what's really interesting is the fact that what they're doing is in violation of the Supreme Court precedent set in 1974 when the reporter William Barr of the Los Angeles Times was held in contempt, and he was held for 47 days, and he finally got to the Supreme Court with his appeal, and the court held that since the penal code that if you hold someone more than 5 days in coercive confinement, it becomes penal for civil contempt, and that they cannot do that. In Mr. Fine's case, every single court, from all the way up to California, through the U.S. District Court to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, has ignored the Supreme Court precedent, including Justice Kennedy. Mr. Fine made a personal application to Justice Kennedy asking him for a stay of execution, which is a kind of ironic because he's never been convicted or tried or even charged with a crime. But Kennedy just summarily denied it without comment and without signature.
Well, that's because they're creating this extrajudicial precedent under the Military Commissions Act and the rest of it. And now they've got the Belligerent Act in the Senate, introduced by McCain and by Lindsey Graham. And it says right there that the president or his designates, for any reason, including intelligence gathering, can arrest and interrogate and hold indefinitely U.S. citizens, and that only an act of Congress can have them be released. I mean, so they're moving towards abolishing the writ of habeas corpus. And
it would appear that way, but this is what they're doing now, law or not. This is actual practice.
Just like they spied on us for decades without warrants, then they got caught, they retroactively go have Congress pass a law. My God. Well, again, why was the judge so brazen? I mean, they had defeated his suit because of their corruption, and then now they wanted to punish him with $47,000. This is not the British system where, in most cases, you don't have to pay the attorney's fees unless it's found to be frivolous. This clearly isn't, and the judge just says, "That's it. Go to the dungeon."
Yes. Well, this is revenge. He has embarrassed the judges. He's exposed them, and they need to be exposed, really, because we have a right to know how the system works or doesn't work. But they don't like that, and they have the power to do it. And the other judges are apparently backing them up all the way to the Supreme Court. However, there is a glimmer of hope. The fact that Justice Ginsburg has scheduled this for the conference hearing on the 23rd is a good sign. It doesn't mean necessarily it's going to be heard. They will decide and vote as to whether or not they're going to take it up. And some experts believe that there's a good chance that they will decide to do this because of the Supreme Court precedent in the Farr case and the underlying issue, which is corruption and bribes being taken by the judges.
And a quietly passed law giving him immunity from bribery.
That has yet to be completely resolved. And let me tell you, once again, Judicial Watch is doing a yeoman's job. They are still fighting off continuing challenges from the Superior Court, trying to nullify the victory that they got, declaring those payments illegal. They're back in another appellate court hearing probably this July, and at that time, it is possible that the issue of the illegality of a retroactive law to bestow a criminal immunity on the judges could be thrown out.
Okay, Leslie Dutton, amazing information. Stay there. Let's talk about how we get justice here, because we all hang together or we hang separate. The foundation of our republic is habeas corpus. I mean, this is a total tyranny if this stands. None of us are safe.